Hello, YouTube. I'm News Center Maine meteorologist Jason Nappy. Here's a look at the socials. If you want to follow along, let's get right into the forecast and talk about the next storm. I know the last thing we need here in New England is another rainstorm after a record-breaking summer with all the rain. But here we go, and this is going to be another storm coming up from the south. This one looks like somewhat like a nor'easter, depending on the storm track here. Could be. You could call it a wimpy nor'easter, though, by nor'easter standards in Maine for sure. But regardless, here it is, low pressure centered over Cape Cod eventually, but Long Island first, Monday night here. Here's the warm front, there's the cold front, there's the wind, the moisture coming up from the south. As the storm tracks into Monday, it is going to intensify. It's going to get stronger as it goes either inland or off the coast. We'll have to wait and see, but Tuesday morning at 10 o'clock, the coastal plain will dry out here with that downsloping wind if the storm tracks inland. Rainfall amounts, as we hear, go ahead and look at things and go ahead, grab a slice of pizza, your favorite beverage. We're going to talk a little bit more in detail about the rainfall this month in September, but this one here is going to have rain going inland as the track I have in the European model, which means New Hampshire gets a bunch, Vermont gets a bunch, and the western mountains of Maine with an inland track storm. So this is a look at 1, 2, 3 inches of rain coming to places that don't need it, already have saturated ground. So now I want to kind of pull the curtain back and talk about the storm, what's going on in the atmosphere, why it's going to be a little bit stronger than a regular old rainmaker. We've got two areas of energy, we'll call them, in the atmosphere. So one north of the Great Lakes, another one down here heading down to the Mid-South. These two areas of energy, this is 500 millibars up, so 20, 30, whatever, 1,000 feet up in the atmosphere. They come together over New England Tuesday night. These two areas are going to help to give like a shot of energy, kind of like a steroid shot into this storm. So not super powerful, not a major nor'easter or anything like that, but it will be more than your average rainstorm. So I'll do the hour by hour, timing out for Maine. You'll notice here the rain starts during the day Monday, comes up from the south, wind coming in, so you get that southeasterly wind component, and the rain will get heavier here. Watch the darker greens showing up and the yellows over towards that south and southeast facing slopes, the foothills, the western mountains, where the rain would be centralized and localized to be heavy there. Oxford Hills, up towards Lewiston, Augusta, temperatures in the 60s. So very much a storm that is going to put down a bunch of rain here, all day washout pretty much Monday. And then by Tuesday, we got the wind coming here from the west and northwest, drying things out along the coastal plain. Future rainfall amounts here. Now, I stopped things on Wednesday, but really this is mostly a Monday to early Tuesday storm. You're seeing more than 2 inches, especially the western mountains here, with that wind hitting up the mountains, upslope. It kind of just rings out the atmosphere, and you get maximum rainfall up in the western mountains from the storm. Now, wind's another concern because we just had a storm come through, and even though western Maine didn't get a lot of rain, or if any, we still have saturated soils. It's been a lot of rain. So wind gusts here with the branches, with the trees, the root system being compromised, with the leaves still on the trees, could have some power outages anytime we're getting up Tuesday, middle of the day, close to 40 miles an hour. You're getting up close to tropical storm force. So have to watch this very closely to see where these wind gusts start to pop. It's not going to be a long duration wind situation, though. It will be ending. Now, as far as what you need to know, Monday through Monday night, that's when it's going to be heaviest with showers, the heavy rain, rainfall 1 to 2 inches plus, and the wind gusts up to 40, which could watch out with those limbs. Local flooding and some outages certainly popping up during this storm. Once again, not a major storm, but it definitely is going to have some kind of meat to it. Now, the rainfall, I just took a model shot here in Rumford, Maine, up in the western mountains. You'll notice here as we get the models picking up Monday to Tuesday, 1.5 to even maybe up close to 3. So the models here are picking up anywhere between that. Longer range over 2 behind me. So there's going to be more than an inch here, according to the models. And I agree with that. I definitely see in the western mountains anywhere between 1 to 3. And if you go over towards Bangor, notice less rainfall there. Models are anywhere between 1/2 inch to 1.5 inches. So less for down east, kind of like flip-flopping. For Lee, we had more down east and less in the western mountains. In Augusta, for the capital, a good solid 1 to 1.5 inches there for the models. Now, to point things out here in Bangor, now, here we go. How about September, 3.76. But look at October, more than 4.5 inches. So the wettest month of the year on average is coming next month. But this month, we're getting a bunch of rain here. So in Portland, for example, September, less than 4, but in October, more than 5 inches. So we have to really watch out here because we're dealing with saturated soils right now, and we've got our wettest month on average coming next month in October, and another storm obviously coming tomorrow into Tuesday, depending on when you're watching this. Thanks for watching. Thanks for reading the blog. Thanks for following along. I'll see you on the socials.